You want to add something? In Estonian, you can say, invite in Estonian.
okei ma kutsun kõiki eestlasi ka ülesse, kes kuidagi juhuslikult seda videot näevad.
Due volontarie della comunità di Taizé sono venute in Polonia per parlare e per annunciare l'incontro europeo di Taizé a Tallin, in Estonia. Due ragazze, una francese e una estone. Dwie wolontariuszki z wspólnoty Taizé, jedna z Francji, jedna z Estonii, przyjechały, by porozmawiać i ogłosić spotkanie w Tallinie, w Estonii. Deux jeunes filles volontaires de la communauté de Taizé sont venues en Pologne pour parler de rencontres européennes à Tallinn, en Estonie. Two young girls, volunteers, came to Poland to talk and announce the European meeting of Taizé in Tallinn, in Estonia. Let's see. Why people should come to Tallinn for the European meeting of Taizé?
People should come because I think most often they have not been to Tallinn, they have not been to Estonia, and it's a really special and cool opportunity to travel somewhere you haven't been and meet the people, meet actual Estonians. So it will be the most north, the most east one European meeting has ever happened, and it will be in a really secular country where Christians are a minority. So I think coming together also as Christians, taking part in this meeting, it's a great opportunity to show unity and share our common life together in a really simple but really deep and meaningful way.
Will Estonian people open their hearts and doors for Christians?
This is what we are working for right now. I'm part of the preparation team, and we are doing our best right now to reach also like national media and to be in picture and explain this meeting and the universality and the underlying really strong trust and love there. So I think it can be universally understandable because Christ is there anyway, so we will just try and make it work.
As an Estonian, what do you expect from this meeting and from Christians from around Europe?
I think I wish for them, or I'm super grateful overall that they can experience this spirituality, so to say, because for me it has been an amazing experience going to Taizé, going to the European meetings and meeting so many young people and different nations. So I hope for them the same experience and just to be able to share our hopes and dreams and also worries in each other's homes, on the streets, in churches. So yes, I am hoping for the hearts to open and then for us all to have amazing New Year's.
The situation on the east of Europe is not so stable now. So what the meaning is of this meeting nowadays?
I think it's also it's meaningful in different ways. You know, also the denominations or the secularity of the country. But as you mentioned, this on the border is really truly the unity that we as Europe, we as young people in Europe, we are together even if we are on the border. So Estonians have been welcomed already in many places in Europe, and we now hope to welcome the young people from Europe in our home as well, on the border as it is.
Will some Ukrainians or Belarusians come also?
We are really hoping for them to come. Right now, also Ukrainians are actually the second biggest registered nation. So it's really great to see this statistic. Yes.
In Estonian, you can say invite in Estonian.
Okay. ma kutsun kõiki eestlasi ka ülesse, kes kuidagi juhuslikult seda videot näevad ja see on aastavahetusel tõesti imeline võimalus kogeda Taiséd, tutvuda nii paljude eri noortega ja näha, et me oleme palju sarnasemad, kui me arvata isegi oskame. Aitäh, dziękuję.
In English,
Thank
what
you.
does it mean?
I said something like this, that it's a possibility for us to meet and experience a lot and experience Taizé as well. And I forgot. I just said something really simple and general about opening our hearts and caring and discovering that we are actually more similar than we think. Yes, I think that was the last sentence of it. Yeah. Et me ei ole nii erinevad, kui me arvame. So that we are not as different as we think we are. This is a European meeting taking place this New Year's. And my previous experience with Taizé is that I stayed there as a volunteer 2 years ago for half a year. And I've been to the previous 2 European meetings. So I was in Warsaw and in Ljubljana, and somehow actually got a calling for this meeting in my own country. So yes, now I'm here visiting Poland. We are really happy actually to be, because I've been here before, but it's a busy trip and I have to answer your questions and now but I'm together with MC.
So I'm MC, Marie-Charlotte, from France. I'm a volunteer in Taizé right now. I've been there for 2 months and I will stay till mid-July. And it will actually be my first European meeting this year. And so I will be volunteering during the meeting, but I'm not in the organization team.
But you know Taizé really well, no? Yes. So she has had the experience of going there for years.
In France, and it's also a community of brothers. It's Protestants and Catholic brothers that live together there, and all the year they welcome a lot of visitors. It's mostly young people between 15 years old to 35 years old. But it's also adults and families that come here. And so, yeah, there is 3 prayers per day, like the one that we just had. And it's also a place to really meet each other. There is people from all over the world that come to Taizé.
Take place in 3 central parishes, 2 Lutheran and 1 Methodist, and the workshops will be based also in the center, more or less. And the evening prayer, which also includes kind of beforehand meal distribution, will be in a in a big ice hall with a capacity of 8,000, but as we are expecting 3,000 to 4,000, maybe 4,000, plus the Estonians also participating, then it will be quite enough for us. And yes, that's roughly the daily schedule of a European meeting. Obviously, there's time for commuting, time for seeing the city center, just walking around, enjoying your time there. But to maybe explain also a bit why the meeting in Estonia is special. I really like numbers, so I will go with numbers because I also before spoke that like roughly 70 to 90% of Polish people are Christian, more or less Catholic, no? So it's like 28 to 36 million people, because the nationality is like 40 million. So if you compare it to Estonia, which is a really small nation, 1.3 million people only, and let's take 70% of it, which is like maybe 900,000. Okay, so you can imagine just 70% of it, like most of it, but it's agnostic. People don't believe in anything, don't consider themselves really spiritual. So this is the reality. This is the nation. The youth, European youth will be visiting this year, but it's not as tragic as it sounds. The people are still nice, and I think. Because I realize also here how special it is to have this kind of environment, and everybody believes that it's something you have in schools as well. You can do cafes. You can do this also in schools, but in Estonia, like we have had discussions of having like a religious studies lesson. People are so harshly against it, and kind of comes from our history and how it's taught in schools. And people are really against like a classical sort of religion. I think mostly they believe in a higher power, but they are really far away from the churches. So the churches make quite a tight community and also are in their bubble. So this meeting is actually really, it has a lot of potential. Because I think also just this meeting firsthand and experiencing other people by something so simple as being welcomed at their home is really powerful and just a great experience, because Estonians still are used to traveling. I think there's a Hemingway quote of there is an Estonian in every port. So we are really all around the world, but not in churches. Over 30, almost 40, I'm not sure of the exact number, but we have that amount of parishes in Tallin and also in the countryside preparing. Just last Saturday we had a big meeting with all the teams, and they were also themselves surprised because there were so many different denominations and they knew people from all around. I also know like the people know them each other because it's a small community, Christian community. And to explain it also a bit, for the European meeting right now we will have only 2 Catholic parishes, and there will be daily Catholic Mass for those, for Catholics. But otherwise the denominations are divided kind of between Lutheran and free churches even. So we have a lot of free churches opening their buildings and welcoming young people. And I think it's really special, and it's even more diverse if you understand, as we have so many Catholic people coming and then locals, and then also Orthodox, because actually the second most registered is by nationalities Ukraine, and then there is only Germans. The Germans are right now the third. But yes, so it will be a really diverse and really probably it might be quite different meeting.